I'm Brendan O'Brien.
And I'm Jordan Freed.
And Jordan, would you like to introduce our very special guest who you got to do a stand-up show with at NJ Weedman's, and he's like...
Oh my gosh, I thought you were going to do the intro because I put food into my mouth.
You saw the golden Oreos and you couldn't resist.
I've been at Weedman's since 3 p.m. and I stayed for 7 hours straight now.
Well, this wonderful man has come a long way, all the way from California. Tommy Carolan.
Thank you, Tommy.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad I managed to finish my Oreo before the intro was done.
Well, the podcast is young and there's a lot of Oreos left. So.
Alright, we can't all be professionals at being on the Sessions with Mary Jane podcast.
Yes.
Yes, so I just want to know, how was your road trip?
It was,
I mean, I want to know many other things, but yeah, how was that driving through many different, you pit stop anywhere?
Oh yeah, I stopped all over the place. It was pretty good except for one asshole cop in North Dakota who pulled me over for doing 8 miles over the speed limit on a freeway.
Yeah.
North Dakota.
Wow.
Yeah, they just, it was definitely, they seen New York tags and they were like, alright, we got a good one today.
Yes, I just had the same experience with a cop in Nebraska. It's like that part of the country, they're just waiting. They literally have nothing else to do but wait for people from out of state to come in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He took my license and everything, fucking comes back, gives it to me, like, I'm just gonna give you a warning today. I was like, just by the way though, you got anything illegal on you? It's like, no. Can I search your car? No. Why not?
No, he asked you?
Yeah.
And then he asked you why not?
Yeah. he was trying to do like the buddy, like, hey, I just gave you a warning,
right,
you know,
sure.
why don't you just hook me up and just like, let me make sure that you're not trafficking drugs through my state.
You should have just told him he could search your asshole.
You should have searched his asshole, actually. That would have really taught him.
No, he needs a search warrant. Doesn't matter. Whatever asshole's being searched, you still need a search warrant.
Yeah, it's so true. And
Car, anything, no. You can't just do it.
And police really do bank on you being too scared to say no to them almost every single time.
Because there was part of me that was like, should I just say yes even though I know he's gonna fight? And I was just like, no, just fucking hold down. And
I'm glad you stuck to your guns. I'm glad you...
Yeah, I figured North Dakota wasn't where I wanted to go to jail, so.
Good reason,
Gosh,
good reason.
They need like a map of states where weed is legal for you to like weave through so that you don't end up in one of those
definitely
places.
exists.
The weed trail.
Sure.
Oh,
It's legal to definitely, that's so a thing.
Yeah.
That's going to be an app. Before we know it, they'll just be
Yeah.
I'm sure Weed Maps has that on there.
Right, that would be the place for it. Yeah. So what's been the root of your journey, starting with where'd you start from, and then where have you ended up now?
I started in Los Angeles. I stopped in San Francisco to have dinner with a high school friend, which that was kind of cool. Fuck all the hills in that city.
Isn't that already 5-hour drive from LA to San Francisco?
You haven't even left the state yet.
I just feel so funny because we can just get to Rhode Island or many places from here.
The last time that I drove, I didn't even make it out of California before I ran out of gas. I was driving through, I was getting to Arizona. Like, I had a quarter tank, and I saw a gas station. I was like, I should probably stop there, but I like Shell gas, and that's not a Shell station.
You're picking on a quarter tank.
I was like, I got at least another 75 miles out of this. Town is probably like 75, 80. Let's see.
Oh my gosh, how many gallons are you thinking?
I get like 25 to the...
Okay, you're rocking some good gas mileage there.
My thing does good on the highway. I noticed that. Like,
What's your thing? What are you
driving?
What's your thing?
Forester. Like, I noticed as soon as I left Los Angeles, my gas mileage went up from 18 to 24. Like, I was getting 26, 27. Amazing. But, yeah, so I was driving quarter tank. I was just like, all right, I'll get the next one. Stop at a rest area. I asked the guy, like, hey, where's the next gas station? He goes, 2 miles down. I was like, all right, cool. Pull off the highway to it. Thing is closed down completely. But outside, there's a van with these 2 hippies painting it. And they had a sign that said, need gas. And I was like, oh, are they selling gas? Like, I don't want to buy gas off of them. They're probably going to charge an arm and a leg, water it down. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Hippie gas.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, fuck that. So I get back on the highway heading west, and I see a sign that says town is like 40 miles, and now the light's on, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Let's see what the deal with those hippies is. And so I turned back, drive like 7 miles back to get to them. And turns out they needed to buy gas.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because that need gas thing is tricky, because it's almost like the thing with scalping tickets too, where they'll like say that they need tickets, but really they're trying to sell tickets.
Yeah,
you never know.
They should have had. I should have looked for a question mark.
I was about to ask. Was there a question
Punctuation is important.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
so I drive back. They're like, yeah, no, we need gas. They gave me a free pair of earrings, which was pretty cool. I just like hung out and talked to them for a few minutes. They had their dogs like running all over the place. And get back on the highway, start heading west again. And then like 2-3 miles outside of town, my car just stops revving. It's like, oh, fuck. So I managed to coast it all the way to the exit. I get off. There's an RV park like a half mile down this way, and then town was probably like a mile and a half down that way. So I was like, maybe somebody at the RV park has like a tank of gas that I can just buy off of them. And I don't know what the hell it was. It looked like a storage facility or something that I ended up walking to. And there's like an old couple in a golf cart. And it's like, hey guys, like, I need gas. And they were like, town's that way. Like, all right, cool. And so I just started walking back, and by the time I reached like the halfway point from where I was stranded to the town, the old man pulls up in a car and he's like, hey, I figured I'd come off you a ride. And I was like, oh, thank you, man. And then he actually had a tank of gas in the back seat, and he was just like, here.
Wow. Yeah, guardian angel.
I was like, you want like $20, man? And he was like, no, just pay it forward. We weren't shaking hands because of coronavirus, but...
yes. But in your minds, you were shaking each other's hands, yeah.
Oh, that was the happy ending?
That was the happy ending.
Yeah, because that is, not having gas or like running out of gas is like, intensifies life immediately.
Oh yeah, it's just, especially like I was in the desert. It's just like,
oh damn,
fuck. I had my dog with me and shit, and it was just like, all right, can't leave you in the car, obviously. So I had to like carry her with me. It was just,
yeah. Well, you know what? Shell, gas, and oil should be very grateful for you, because that's a ringing endorsement of their product.
I filled up with a Shell in Nettles, California.
There you go. He stays true.
That guy gave me that gas.
Amen.
I drove right into town. First gas station. Perfect.
Yes. Well, what else is perfect is something I just remembered, which is that we have a challenge for you that you have to you can complete throughout the course of this podcast.
Speaking of gas.
Yes. Speaking of gas. Yes. Yes.
Honestly, although it is a big challenge just for him.
You just said yes, and then you just realized.
I did. I just realized the segue. Sorry, Jordan. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's probably just a challenge for him, to remember his whole trip.
Yes. And that will also be a part of your challenge.
Sure, yeah.
So as you take us on the trip of life and the trip of your journey across the country, you must also take us on a trip to this list. What's the list, Reena?
You have to list as many gas station foods as you can. Just how many ever you get on the list, interrupt at any time. It's been a range of different, answers people have gotten many different like categories lists of their own.
Okay.
So like anything you come up with, you're still a winner.
Yes, we've gotten a 0, so that's like kind of our low benchmark. Is like if you get
You've
more
never
than
gotten
0.
a negative yet.
No,
it's
no.
It's just been 0 to 92.
Yes.
That's
There were political protests of it.
Yes. Yes, there were.
I mean, big ass hamburger comes right to mind.
Big.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Big ass hamburger.
Now is this one of
the
the
hamburger's a butt?
BAZZ.
Now is this one of the ones that you get in the refrigerator that you can microwave there, or is it one that is already wrapped in tinfoil under a heat lamp?
Oh, good question.
I think it's actually oddly someplace in the middle.
A little
please elaborate.
What do you mean?
think it's just in a plastic wrapper that you.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
And then you might be able to microwave it if you want.
But you can't eat it
it's
cold
not
if you
frozen.
want to.
Like it definitely doesn't come frozen.
Yeah.
But I don't ever really remember heating them up. Maybe there's some sort of heat lamp involved.
I love that.
That was just high school fucking. Me and my buddy would smoke a blunt and then go to the gas station. And I was like, all right, let's get a burger.
Yes. Having a good, reliable gas station that you can rely on to get good snacks is essential, especially when you're growing up.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you grow up?
Northern Westchester, I guess, like right on the border of Putnam County.
So what was that part of Westchester like? I don't really know a lot about Westchester in general.
Boring suburb thing. It's nothing special, you know, they got a Walmart, Kmart 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What was your reaction to living in the suburbs? Like did you want to get out of it? Did you really like parts of it?
I guess there's parts to both I like. I do like quiet nights, but I do also like ambulances and stuff at night. It's a weird mix. I don't know.
You need a very quiet town that has a lot of emergencies, really, and then you'll be totally happy.
No, like I have no problem sleeping with city noise going on.
Where do you live in LA?
Like right outside of downtown, just west of it.
Oh.
So, San Francisco was your first pit stop.
Yeah.
Then after that, where did you go?
I just made a little stop in. Well, that night I slept in a Walmart parking lot in Wairika, California, like super northern California. Most beautifully placed Walmart I've ever seen. Mountains all around it, gorgeous.
I was gonna say, like throughout your trip, you've seen many different landscapes.
Yeah.
What is like one of your favorites, or I guess one that was just very beautiful? Or
Western Montana is gorgeous. Eastern just goes flat. Like right after Billings, I think it's just all right. This is boring now. But Western Montana was amazing. I went to Old Faithful, the geyser.
Yeah, how was it?
It was pretty cool. I got there like as it was getting dark, so I was just like, all right, none of my pictures are gonna look cool.
But it does go all night. It's nonstop, right?
Every like hour and a half, it really blows. But I don't know.
It was faithful. It waited for you.
Yeah.
oh,
It had blown like a few minutes before I got there. And I was just like, all right, I guess I'll hang out here for an hour and a half and wait for this.
Yeah. Now, are you doing this trip by yourself?
Yeah.
So how is that? Just like the being in the car alone.
It's all right. Just turn on podcasts or
yeah. What do you
music.
listen to?
Last podcast on the left, I listened to a whole bunch, and then my buddy Chris Vega's High Society Radio. Those two, and then like music, just rap or punk, whatever I felt like that day.
Cool.
But yeah, I stopped in Wairika. Then the next day, I just like made a little mini stop in Portland, got something to eat there, checked out a record shop, and then went up to Seattle, which that was a pretty cool city.
That was your first time there?
Yeah, that was my first time going up like the West Coast, because I drove to California, then I drove back to California, now back to New York. And like every time I've done it, I've went a different way just to.
How many times have you done this?
I guess 5.
Oh my gosh.
And then right before that, I also did like the whole east side of the Mississippi.
Oh, that's so weird. Wow.
That was a fun one that ended at the gathering of the Juggalos.
Oh my god. Was that an on purpose destination or?
It was a pretty happy coincidence. It was just like, all right, this vacation's panning out to align with that. I was like, do I want to do that? Should maybe go a little bit more west, check out Denver, and then it was like, we can go to the gathering.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that like?
It's fucking awesome every time. Like, I'm not even really a juggalo. I've always said I'm juggalo adjacent. Like, my brother's a juggalo, or was, and a lot of the artists that I listen to actually came from like listening to them because they just featured everybody back in the day. But yeah, just awesome time. Like, they showed me nothing but love the whole time. Like, remember I was just sitting there stoned eating a stoner bowl, which is like mac and cheese and like a meat thrown on top of it.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It's delicious. I'm just sitting there like in the sun eating it, staring off into space, and some guy comes running over. He's like, "Are you all right, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine, man. What's up?"
Enjoying mac and cheese.
And he was just like, "Oh man, it's just like people have been like passing out from the heat. You look kind of spaced out." I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm just high." All right, cool. Just checking on you, man. I was like, "All right, thank you."
Oh yeah, speaking of temperature, how did that range throughout the different states, or also because you were different like altitude points?
This one wasn't so bad because like I just did it like last week, right? I got in last Wednesday, yeah. I got in, and I left a week before that. So, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like, no, you know what? It was actually very cold the morning I woke up at that Walmart parking lot. That was, I woke up at like 6-something a.m. and I was just like, oh, fuck, cold as shit.
Oh, wow.
And I just ran into the Walmart and I bought a blanket and pillow.
Oh, that's what they get you.
I was just like, alright, this is...
Wow. Yeah, that's a trade-off of having a Walmart with a nice view, is that you also have the coldest Walmart in the entire country.
Oh, God.
You had good weather, though, in your drive? Like, there wasn't...
I had a little bit of rain someplace. That was really it.
But not bad. That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
But
When you're traveling, like, do you generally try to plan things ahead of time, or are you more of a kind of go with the flow kind of guy?
I'm starting to plan them a bit more. Like, it was originally like, alright, booking hotel, like, night of. Like, alright, let's see where I'm at. Alright, where can I get to? Alright, I'll book a hotel in St. Louis tonight. And it was like, this time it was like, alright, I'm gonna plan it out. I did go kind of awry for the first few days though. Like, I was supposed to spend the first night in San Francisco, and I was just like, it's only like 9 o'clock. I don't think I'm gonna just stay here. And so then I drove to like 1 o'clock in the morning to get to that Walmart. And then after I did Seattle, I did a few open mics there, which were pretty fun. Then I was just like, alright, let's see how far west I can get tonight. And I made it to some little rest stop just off the side of the highway, and I was like, alright, fuck it, I'll just sleep here tonight. I got the pillow and blanket in the back seat already. And I got out to smoke a cigarette, because I don't smoke cigarettes usually, but for some reason, road trips, I'm just like, alright, let's smoke cigarettes this whole time. And I don't know what it is. I think it's from an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I was just like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But, so I stop at this little rest stop, I'm smoking a cigarette, and I see a dude in a Hatchet Man t-shirt, and I was like, oh, Juggalo. I don't know how to talk to this guy. And, I grab all the trash from my car so that I can go throw it out, just to, like, walk past them. And, I was just like, hey, man, you go to the gathering this year? No, I wish, man. It's like, yo, you fuck with Clear? I was like, no, what's that? And I had an idea, and then he just goes, it's meth. And I was like,
God.
yeah, no, not at all, man.
Oh, no.
And he was like, alright, well, like, you fuck with weed? I was like, yeah. And he goes, if you let me smoke some meth in your car, I'll give you some weed.
Oh my God. Classic meth addicts.
And I was just like, no. Nuh-uh.
Not that bad.
And he was like, dude, come on, like, I don't want to smoke in front of my kids.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, no.
This is so sad.
And I was just like, no, man, not at all. He was like, you don't gotta smoke it. I was like, yeah, I know I don't. And I'm definitely not doing it in my car.
Oh my God.
You know, Tommy, you're saying no, like, you know, standing up for yourself multiple times during this trip, or the stories you've told us.
And the appropriate times, I think.
It's very, like, this is very good. Like, that you're very, like, you're definitely a person who can I don't know, like that solo person, but who's like, you have street smart.
I
Because there's
mean-
some solo travelers that I feel like definitely get mixed up in or I'm sure have you also gotten mixed up in situations?
I will say, if it was a person you knew and they wanted to smoke meth in your car, then you should let
No,
I-
no.
Like, that's a
I
different
mean,
story.
but as a
No.
juggalo, he's supposed to be family. So what do I do there?
Yeah. I wonder if he thought of pulling that card. He was like, do I? No.
No, you're bound.
Family.
No.
Just paint your face.
The kids come out, their faces are all painted. They're like, Daddy, you're smoking meth again. He's like, sorry, kids, it's a road trip.
Something's got to get me to fucking Spokane tonight. It's not going to be your bitching.
So you mentioned open mics. Let's just dive into your stand-up. When did you start doing stand-up?
The first time I did it was like a little bit after turning 21. And then I didn't do it again for like almost 2 years, I think. Because I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I got booked on a show before I ever did an open mic. So then open mics were just like, what the fuck is, I don't know what that is. And, yeah, so I was supposed to be booked again this next month, so I was just like, alright, I have a booker, I guess. And she'll hit me up whenever I can do a show. And I had no idea how any of it worked. Like, I used to think to be a stand-up, you had to be the funny guy at the office and, like, elected to the position or something. I didn't think you could just be like, yeah, I think I can tell jokes for a living. And it's just like, it's like a government job.
You put in 10 years, and then if you have good behavior,
You get your pension.
yeah. So what was it about comedy that made you want to try it to begin with, though?
I found a comedy club that didn't card me for drinking when I was 20.
Nice.
So I just started hanging out there every weekend and started becoming friends with comics and stuff. So I was like, all right, well, these guys are doing it. Why don't I just write jokes? And so I just started writing stuff. And then I showed like the notebook to a buddy, and he was like, yeah, I guess it's pretty funny. 'Cause, like I said, no idea what the hell I'm doing. Like, do I gotta prove it to these guys? So then like one night I was just hanging out with them at the club, and they were like talking about a show they were booking, and the guy just goes, hey, Tommy wrote some stuff, why don't you throw him on the show? And the girl was like, all right, yeah, no problem. So I did that. I feel like I ate shit that night. People tell me that I did fine. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember much of that material, but then what happened? Yeah, I started working like 7 days a week regularly, and I was just, can't do that anymore. I got to be up early for construction work. Then eventually it was just, you know what, I should go back to doing open mics, and I just accidentally stumbled on Creekside. And
Where's Creekside?
It was on 9W. Was it on 9W?
I couldn't even tell you what road it was on.
It was in Marlboro, next to
in
a
Marlboro,
golf
like,
place.
okay.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah. There was, I'd never seen
Jody Lee and
golf
Ross
there.
did it.
Yeah, I just I was driving through there one Friday night because me and my buddy were sick of drinking at local bars, and let's go upstate, see what they have. So we would just drive up the highway, then search bars in the GPS, and one of them popped up Raccoon Saloon, and we were like, that sounds like fun, let's go there. And as we were driving to find that place, we seen a bunch of people at Creekside, and we're like, all right, that looks like fun, actually. Let's find Raccoon Saloon, that's gotta be fun. And we never found Raccoon Saloon, we just turned around, like, this doesn't look like a town where there's going to be more than one bar with people.
Right.
So we went, and they were just having a show. Talked to Ross. It was like, hey man, how do people like get onto comedy here? Oh, there's these open mics. We're thinking about starting one here. Like, all right, cool, man.
Oh, wow.
Add me on Facebook, and we'll figure it out. And then they just started that open mic, and that was like, I'd done an open mic in the city 2 days before that or something. It's actually probably right around the anniversary of that shit.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. 8 years, I think. 9? Fuck.
Time is weird.
Goddamn. Alright. Yeah, it was just always like weird coincidences of like that club that I hung out at. I just found it because I worked uptown further in the city. And I was like, I'm gonna walk 20 blocks tonight, see what's there, see what I can get into. This is New York City. I didn't realize the Upper West Side is the most boring fucking place on the planet. I was like, this is Broadway. This has got to be something. And I don't want to say the name of the club because they didn't card me for drinking. I don't know if statute of limitations is up on that after 10 years. But the 20th block, there was this stand-up club, and I was just like, all right, let me pop in there. Me and my girlfriend were looking for a stand-up club to go to. And
Oh, cool.
then they didn't card me for drinks, and it was like, all right, this is now my weekend spot.
What did you learn from stand-up comedy? From doing it this long, or something like the thoughts you had on it before versus now?
I don't know. It's, I learned that anybody can do it. Technically.
But do it well.
I don't know. I still haven't learned how to write.
So what is your process for writing actually then? Like, is a lot you just store in your head, or do you actually need to jot anything down?
I try to jot some stuff down, but like I have no idea how to like structure a paragraph or anything like that. So it will be just 7 pages of a sentence. And I do feel like sometimes my performing style comes off that way. Of just, But, yeah, I don't know, I guess maybe I might jot down like a few things. I tend not to make like a set list because then I get too in my head.
Interesting. How was the crowds? How were the crowds different when you did open mics in different states along your trip, or
It depended like where I was at. Like Seattle, the first one was a lot of fun. The second one seemed to be at a little bit more of a chaotic bar, so it was just, all right, I'm performing into nothingness right now, I guess. Yeah.
Somebody's out there listening.
Yeah,
Tommy,
hopefully.
someone heard you that night.
I hope not. They didn't laugh.
Have you seen the movie Entertainment?
No.
I haven't either. What is that?
Gosh, you guys all need to watch it. It's a stand-up comedy movie, and I won't really say that much more.
No, that's our
Everybody just has to watch it. It's just so funny. It's very bizarre.
Where can we find it?
Just search it on your smart TVs.
Just look it up yourself.
I'll get back to you.
It's Netflix or something.
Oh, that's a hard
Is
one to
this
start
old?
streaming for.
Is this new? Is this a new?
No, it's been out for a minute. Yeah.
One whole
Whole
minute?
minute, yeah.
60 seconds? Oh, it's so old.
That's old in New York. New York Minute.
Yeah, New York Minute. Yeah. Have you? So one of the things that people say a lot, especially like going from the East to the West Coast, they're like, "Oh, it's like very slow on the West Coast." Did you feel that way, like when you were been out there, or like the pacing difference?
It's definitely more laid back and like way more spread out, I guess. It's like New York, everybody just on top of each other, fucking everywhere. Over there, it's like a lot more. You'll catch an attitude from somebody if you're like in their space because it's just such a more personal space city. Where it's like, what the fuck are you doing? New York is just, alright, I have to live like a sardine here.
Yeah. If you haven't been in the city in a while and you like go to the city and you see the subway and you just like look at it, you're just like, it's amazing these people are all just like so willing to be so close to each other.
Right?
They don't really have a choice.
No, they don't. They really don't.
I know whenever I took my buddy from Westchester down to the city when I was living down there, he hated the subway. Like, I could just see the visible look of disdain on his face the whole ride on like the 4 or the 5 train, and he's just crammed up and he wants to just like push people out of his way. It's like,
Yeah. How do you feel? Do you mind the subway? Do you prefer it or over other forms of transportation?
I hate buses.
Mm-hmm.
Subway was alright. I never fucked with the public transportation in LA because I just bought a car before I moved there because I was like, I'm gonna need that.
Well, their public trans isn't that good, is it? Right? Isn't it more of like, because it's, or at least that's what I heard, but like, it's easier to drive a car.
I think it's probably easier to drive a car. I think also New York's subway is probably one of the better ones out there. I don't know.
That's what they say, but the thing is also the New York City
Well,
subway.
because New York City's on a grid, right? It is a great system. Like, oh, for you to have subways like that, fantastic. Could you make them way cleaner? Yes. Could you figure out a way to get a freaking air conditioner down there when it's really hot? Or do something when it's really cold in the heat? I don't know. You can come up with some, sort of technology. Can you make Wi-Fi better down there? Sometimes I don't get any bars.
Yeah, those
Do I
are
have
all
T-Mobile?
equal
Sure.
priorities.
These are all personal, I don't know, feedback. But it's like, yeah, it's like great and everything. But does anyone really like the subway? Like, does anyone really like?
Look forward to it like it's an amusement park ride. Like, yay, the B train.
I'm sure there's tourists who are just like, hey, I'm gonna ride the Times Square shuttle to Grand Central.
Yeah, I definitely have seen people who are very clearly tourists on the subway who are just like looking around and they're just like pointing at things. I'm like, what are you doing?
And that's when they think an empty subway cart's a good thing.
Yes.
And you're like, no, there's a reason it's empty.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I made that mistake before I moved down there once. I just got into the subway car and there was, dude, shit his pants just in the car. And I had a chili cheese dog with me. And I was eating it as I went in.
Oh no!
And then
it's making me so sick.
I realized if I take it away from my nose, I can smell the shit. But if I'm eating this thing, I just smell chili cheese dog. So I just sat there and I was like, I'm gonna fucking just eat this thing. Because I couldn't smell the shit that way. So it's just like, this is... Everybody else is just like, what the fuck?
Tommy, you have very unconventional but very successful survival instincts. You're very good in situations.
If you were eating something and then when you weren't eating it smelled like shit, would you continue to eat it? Or would you
yes, 100%.
just stop eating it?
I feel like I would
and
lose
smell
my appetite, to be honest.
You get that chili dog quick. You go, oh no.
Oh, yikes. Oh, I don't ever want to be in a situation like that.
We got out at the next stop and went to the next car.
Well, can't you transfer from car to car in a subway?
Yeah, but you have to walk in between the rails of death if you want to do it.
I don't mind doing that. Like Metro North, they make you do that shit.
Yeah.
And I never got why they're okay to do it. I stand in between the cars most of the time on Metro North.
Oh.
Subway, I don't know why they're like, you can't do that in here.
Yeah.
Although I think people do kind of end up getting bounced over the side, so.
Yeah.
That's probably...
They go hella fast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. That's not... Yeah, it's not safe.
They gotta hit what? 60? No. Right? I don't know how fast a train goes.
It feels fast though when you're sitting next to
maybe
it.
it is around like 40, 50, 60. I don't know. There are definitely some where you feel you're like, this sounds like it's gonna be off the rails. Like it's gonna be the squeaking and the just like it's going so and the tail of it's like rattling.
Oh yeah. No, the subway always sounds like it's about to break down at every second.
That's what I'm saying. So can't they put some money, the government or the state, somebody, and fix this? You know how long we've had it?
What, and tax Wall Street?
I know, crazy idea, right? Crazy.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, I know you have. Would you say this is a hobby of yours, or because I noticed it on your Instagram, quite often? Maybe it's recently doing all this wood shop work, and you're making. Right? Are you actually making those?
I was. I haven't done it in a while.
No,
but
you haven't.
yeah.
Yes, you haven't posted in a while. I don't think you. Yes, you made one in a while, but like there was one for shot glasses that looked super cool, and then was there another one with the map America?
Yeah, that was a shot glass one.
Oh, that's
that was
also
the
shot glass.
first one I did actually, because doing all the road trips, I was like, yeah, I'll start collecting the state shot glasses. And then they started just muddling up the regular shot glass collection. So I was like, let's get a map one where I can like put them into each
That's
state.
super cool.
But I couldn't find one, so I was like, you could probably make one out of wood. And so I just like bought all the shit. I ended up buying like twice as much as I needed. That's why there's like 5 other things that I ended up doing with them. But yeah, so I used the jigsaw to cut out like the state shapes, and the state lines were all done with a soldering iron. But yeah, I guess that would just be like a hobby that.
Yeah, that's really dope. How did you know to, like, you took wood shop in high school or something? Or like,
No,
because it looks so nice. I was just like, how are you able to just do this and put it together?
my dad was a carpenter, so like he had all the tools for me to use, and I worked in construction myself, so
You're
it
a
was
handyman.
pretty
you
well.
know your way around.
Yeah, I
Wait a
knew how
second,
to
was
use
your
it.
dad Jesus?
No, unfortunately. I got shafted on that. He's just a union carpenter. I think Jesus was more freelance.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, when you started saying, I saw the hobby you were doing, my first thought was putting Sour Patch Kids and Swedish Fish together, because right, and I know you have the tattoo of that, right?
I also remember that. Yeah, can you explain where your mind was when you decided to do that?
I was super baked at a gas station one night at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they had this display of Swedish Fish and Sour Patch Kids, and they had them both like to buy there, and I was like, did they make mermaids with Swedish Fish and Sour Patch Kids? And they hadn't, so I just went into the parking lot and was like, I'm gonna do this.
They really should.
They should.
So that's a good idea.
If they do it, I would like some sort of an endorsement deal, because I tattooed it on myself.
you do have the proof by the tattoo.
Although there's also a Twizzler, so maybe that might go against their marketing team.
How did it taste? Once you put it together, did you eat it, or you just did it purely for design?
No, I ate them. It was fine.
I was just
The
curious
Swedish
of the
Fish.
texture and the sugary substance.
You have to trademark your leg.
Can I sue them now?
I owe both of you. You just walk into the copyright office, just slam the leg
Can I
down.
still Can you still copyright stuff by writing it down and mailing it to yourself?
You just nail your leg amputated.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, I remember people saying that about the thing with the mailing it to yourself, and I believed that. And then I found out when I grew up, they were like, "No, that doesn't do anything. It's just you mailing yourself a letter."
But
you're just like a
postmarked.
It's
It's sealed.
Yeah, you just believe it's not gonna do anything though.
Yeah, well, you know.
It's not Santa Claus. Sorry, everyone. If you don't believe, if you believe in
just
Santa
crushed
Claus,
How
so
old
many
were you when you
conspiracies.
found out that wasn't true?
a sophomore in high school.
Santa?
Yeah.
I was,
No, wait, really?
Like,
A sophomore in high school.
yes, that's when I started. That's when I stopped believing it. I'd heard the rumors, but I didn't want to believe it for a long
A
time.
sophomore in high school.
Listen, my parents.
So freshman in high school, you still believe Santa?
Hey, I still
Yes.
believe
Yes.
Santa Claus for all the children listening.
Oh,
Yes.
quiet, Jew.
Thanks, other Jew.
Welcome, half Jew.
The magic of Santa Claus is that he gives Jews monetary wealth.
Santa Claus is Jewish also.
Yeah.
Jesus is Jewish. Santa Claus
Yeah.
is Jewish. Everyone's Jewish.
It's a good racket.
Yeah.
But Santa doesn't have the chocolate gold coins that you can eat.
No, that's
No.
Hanukkah,
Did you just
Harry.
no, but we get Christmas tree Reese's peanut butter cups, which I think are better.
Yeah.
Reese's peanut butter cups are good. I'm sorry.
Those
I'm not
seasonal
shitting
ones?
on you, Brendan, but of being like a sophomore in high school. That is
It
really
is strange.
fucking late.
It is very strange. My parents just never told me, so I was like, all right, like, 'cause I guess a lot of other parents, like, either they figured the kids just knew, or they went outright and said, hey, this is the truth about Santa Claus. And they didn't do that. And so I was like sitting in class during my history class, and my teacher said something, and she was like talking to the class, and then she said, "Oh yeah, you know, like Santa Claus isn't real." And then I'm like, and I remember sitting there thinking, like, why would she say that right now? Why would she try to make up this lie? And then,
Oh my God.
and again, like I'm not an idiot. Like I heard kids talking about Santa Claus not being real. I just chose to keep believing it. And then all the kids around me are like, do the bit where they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that, Miss Jones." And then everyone, like they're laughing, she's laughing, I'm laughing, but I don't really want to laugh. I just want to try to blend in. And that's just how I found out Santa Claus was not real. So.
Cool. What about you, Jordan? How old were you when you
Oh
realized?
my god, I wish I was that old. I cried so hard when I found out. Yeah, I was a little, yeah.
How old?
I don't know, like 5th grade maybe.
And wait, who
I felt
spoiled
so
it
lied
for
to.
you? How'd you
That was the
find
beginning
out?
of the Matrix being broken for me, like the
Oh.
Santa Claus thing. Like I was just like, they lied about this and every adult has been in on it, like...
I can't believe. Oh my god. Wait, but who ruined it for you? Like, how'd you find out?
Kids on the bus.
Damn it.
That's it.
Classic kids on the bus
Yes.
talking.
Yes. All magic was broken on the
That
school
bus
bus.
was not magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That magic bus wasn't going. What's her name? Sorry.
Miss Frizzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, love Miss Frizzle.
I think I was just like maybe 10, 11 years old.
That's a healthy age.
A little younger,
Healthy age to
right?
find out about Santa Claus.
That it was, yeah, or no, possibly if maybe a year or two younger than 10. That I found out he wasn't real.
Who'd you find out from?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I think it is definitely like just watching TV or movies or just play, like you just get old. Also having a brother that was 3 years older, like it was just like naturally just ruined for you. Like it was just, nobody like blatantly came out and said whatever, like I just came to like the, I don't know, I just came to the, what is the
Conclusion?
word? Thank you.
You just sat in your room and you thought,
I was like,
I've
what?
realized Santa
Where?
Claus is not real.
What was I thinking of?
Yeah. Tommy, how old were you?
Yeah, conclusion myself.
I was like
Didn't exist.
7. And my mom blew that one up in my face.
Oh no, what happened?
I was being a little shit one day, and she was just like, "I'm not gonna get you a PlayStation for Christmas." And I was like, "Alright, fine, I'll tell Grandpa to get me one." And she goes, "Fucking tell Grandpa not to buy you a PlayStation." And I was just like, "Alright, well, here we go. Santa. I get Santa to bring me a PlayStation," and she just looked at me and she went, "Santa's not real." I'm like, alright, fuck.
Wow. Mad respect though for like the timing of using the Santa card. She waited and she was like, "This is the right time."
Oh yeah. And
Wow.
then she bought me a PlayStation in exchange for not telling my little brother.
Good deal. So you won in the end.
I did.
Yeah, and that was PlayStation. Which one? That was the PlayStation 1, the first one. Yeah.
I can't imagine if I was a parent, like how I would even deal with that situation, because I don't want to like crush the kids, like dream, or if they, you know.
Oh, I probably
if they
deserved
really...
it.
I imagine it's definitely harder
No, but
now.
I'm saying.
That wasn't just a
that's
rash
true,
decision.
Yeah.
It's probably like, you know what, I don't want to fucking pull the wool of something over his eye.
Yeah. But like,
I think I probably used the wrong phrase there.
wait, say it again?
Yeah, no, I probably just...
Pulled the...
I don't know. I have a bad habit of not knowing what expression I'm using.
Well, you
I just go, that's a figure of speech. I heard that seems like it fits here. And then
it's
just
all
drop
about
it.
how you apply it in a sentence. You can
Right.
use
Yeah.
whatever expression you want.
Right. Right, and most of the time people can figure out what you're trying to say, even if it's not exactly as
Probably
saying
not.
that.
I generally go opposite of what I'm trying to say. Like I
Like-
probably meant rip the Band-Aid off instead of pull the wool
gosh.
over her eyes. But
Gosh.
Pull the Band-Aid over her eyes, call it a day.
I do agree with you though, Brendan, that I feel like it's definitely harder for kids to like they just know so much, or it's harder for things to be spoiled for them because I just feel like they're so
they're born spoiled.
But they're so aware and like know of things already. I feel like a 4-year-old kid would immediately know Santa's not real. Like they're just
by logic or by Googling it.
Google
Both.
has the map, the track Santa.
That's true. Google, they know.
They do? They have a thing?
They do. Google maintains it. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Wow,
that.
I am kind of curious what Google would say if I Googled it.
Yeah. Also, we're like watching in the background here. We're watching. I guess this the SpaceX mission. Like
I don't know.
It's
I think
footage
so.
from space, and we're looking at Earth right now. I don't know if it's on SpaceX, but they're in some sort of orbit. I
Yeah.
don't.
It's shot like a bad sex tape. And it's just the Earth is just taking up most of the screen.
Keep showing the backside of the thrusters.
Yeah. Who went to film school? Not the person who shot this.
Is there anything you want to add to your list, Tommy? You just have to ask.
Do Reese's peanut butters count?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they do.
At least at my convenience store.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Chill.
We'll go Snickers bar. Do Dunkin' Donuts count as like gas station food? I feel like
That's
there's
a good question.
You know what?
there's a good portion of gas station / Dunkin' Donuts, I feel.
There are a lot. Yeah, there is a lot of
Damn.
yeah. So
I was thinking strictly, well, yeah, because then you could say anything in a quick check then is also this is a very broad category.
Yeah.
Gas station.
Tommy, I will say that you would have had to have gotten these snacks from these gas stations. If you gotten them from gas stations, I'd say that they count.
I don't eat much like when I'm driving. Like those long drives that I do, I don't eat much on the road.
Yeah. Do you not get hungry very often?
Yeah, it's just like I'm not moving too much. Like I'm just sitting there, so.
That's a good point, yeah, because it feels like you're moving a lot just because you are technically traveling a lot of distance, but you're not burning off any calories by sitting in a car.
Yeah.
But are you like hella uncomfortable with like long drives? It seems like you can really bang them out, but like your body doesn't you're not like I need to stretch for a good 5 minutes.
No, like when I stop for gas, other states besides New York. Well, I guess you guys don't even get to pump your gas here.
In Jersey, no.
No, we don't have to.
I'm privileged now.
Nice, man. I think it was Montana. Also, you're not allowed to pump your own gas. Yeah.
What is the reason?
Oh,
No?
Jobs.
yeah, it had something to do with that, yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible job.
No.
Seems, as long as,
Some people work.
yeah.
People make a living.
Yeah. Is there a job that you would never, ever want to do ever in your entire life? Ever?
I don't know. Clean porta potties, I guess.
That's a good
answer.
That's a good answer.
That's the only one that like really comes to mind where I'm like, that's.
Especially like a festival or a concert when you're just like seeing the amount of bodies that are going in and out of them is ridiculous.
I feel like that might be easier.
Because there's a lot of people.
No, because I don't know. Maybe this is insane people logic. It's a lot of people that are shitting in those things all day, but you're cleaning it out at the end of one day. Like a construction site, that's a substantially less people, but it's festering for a week between cleanings. So, oh, maybe that blue stuff in there's magic and turds don't age in there. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you like working in construction?
Some aspects of it. I do kind of like physical labor to a degree. Like, office stuff always just seemed like, I can't just sit there at a desk all day and just look at a fucking computer. But then there's other, like, aspects of it where it's just like, alright, you people are absolutely fucking insane. And I don't like dealing with you at any sort of level.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, it's just lots of dudes wrestling and stuff, at least for the company I worked at, and I was just like...
Wrestling?
Yeah, they would just, like, grapple with each other every now and again. It's like, yeah. stay the fuck away from me. I want no part of this. I'm just here for working. Go away.
Yeah, so you probably experience a lot of guys who are like really boasting their.
Yeah, there's like a weird level of homophobia where I actually used to just kind of play with like, am I gay? Like I would do open mics at gay bars, so then like the next day I'd just be smoking a cigarette. Be like, yeah, I was hanging out at this gay bar last night. And then it was like, you hear what he said? It's like, think what the fuck you want, buddy. Just because I knew that was like a way to get most of the people who I didn't want to deal with anyway to leave me alone. I was like, if I just make you question my sexuality, but you're gonna never speak to me, and I'm okay with that. So that was just like a fun little game that I would play. Construction site porta potty art is a lot of fun, actually. That was a surprise benefit of the job.
Any specific ones that stand out to you that you remember?
Or did you do them?
I would just like add on to stuff. Like there was this one soap dispenser where the thing had been knocked off, and for whatever reason I kind of thought it looked like a shaman meditating, so I just kind of like drew that around.
Whoa.
Then there was, every one of them has dicks drawn in them.
Yes.
It's just,
it's mandatory.
Yeah, it's what people do.
Do you think people forget?
Forget what?
Dicks?
Forget what they look like?
Penises?
I don't know. I mean, I was a dick drawer every now and again.
What is it? What is it about the dick that you must draw?
I don't know. I think it's just a fun shape. Like
It is.
It's just an easy. All right.
Because nobody draws vaginas.
No, there was a
Is
ton of
that
vaginas drawn in them too. I'll
Oh,
say
okay.
that. They did draw a ton of vaginas as well.
Yeah.
Lots of sex scenes and stuff like that. But I remember one job site, somebody wrote, stop drawing dicks everywhere, it's mad gay. And so I just crossed out mad gay and wrote making me horny.
That's why, when you go to the bathroom and you see like the drawings on the wall, the exchanges between different people and the add-ons are always the best part.
Yeah.
Like, it's like watch the entire conversation happen.
Yeah,
Like it'd be like oh fuck all y'all, and then it's like you're gay, and then this other one says you're both gay, and it's like an ongoing dialogue.
Do you think bathroom stalls in schools, like middle school and high school, still have that, or do you think they clean it up and they're way stricter now and like there's no
Drawings on
writing
them?
Yeah, drawings, writings, whatever in the bathroom stalls.
I remember mine having like,
Because it's
kind of-
different when we were in school versus now.
I don't remember them being like a plain surface that was easy to write on. I remember it being like a speckled thing of like
Oh.
gray, black, and
Yes.
white, so that I guess it just made it harder for you to do it unless
Oh,
you brought
gotcha.
a paint marker or something. And
Wait, is that? Do you think that's the reason why that was the design?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I never even thought of that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I just thought of it now. So this wasn't like, oh, you know what? Let me go think about middle school bathrooms.
It's like a gathering of adults, probably mostly men, are just like, all right, we got a problem with the middle school bathroom we have to figure out.
Yeah,
Everyone, solutions. What do you have?
I'm
Wow.
surprised you don't see that in more like public bathrooms. Yeah.
Like that kind of design.
Yeah.
Maybe they welcome the art. Maybe they like having it there.
New Orleans, I actually always loved the art in like the bar bathrooms and the graffiti down there.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's definitely a style that I don't see anywhere else. Where like it's cool tribal faces and stuff. Just
Interesting point.
Yeah, tribal dicks also.
yeah.
Need a little bit of
Well, you have 4 on your list. I'm just letting you know the number that you're at.
Okay.
Are you content with 4? Because you can wrap up whenever.
Bar
you
bathrooms
feel
or
like.
gas station bathrooms. The worst of the worst
Ooh.
of either.
Wait, what?
That's a good one. I feel like truck stops are pretty reliable bathrooms.
Mm.
Like your Loves and TAs and Flying J's. All solid bathrooms. I know Loves, they have showers in them, which is awesome.
Mm.
I've never used one. Even I was a trucker or I worked with a trucker for a little bit. And took a trip to Canada.
Whoa, cool. How's that?
That was pretty fun. We took paintings from the MoMA to whatever Canada's MoMA was, I guess. I don't know. We had like 6 paintings. They went the whole
Coma.
length of
That's what I was thinking too.
What was
Wait,
it?
what?
Coma. The Canadian MoMA.
Canadian MoMA. Coma.
But we had like 6 paintings. And it was $156 million worth of shit in the truck. Something ridiculous like
Wow.
that. And we had an armed guard take us to the border. And
Oh my
then
God.
they couldn't go into Canada because they had guns, and then they had to like leave us there. But that shit was pretty cool,
To deliver paintings? Oh my god, it just sounds like you're a national treasure.
right? We had to do like all the crazy plastic locks and tamper-proof things on all the entrances to the trailer.
Oh, for the other trailer and the
Yeah,
truck.
to make
Oh.
sure that like we didn't just stop off and unload them into another truck. And
Yeah. Oh my
it
gosh.
was,
Precious cargo.
yeah.
They were all wrapped,
Yeah,
wrapped
all
boxes,
boxed
so you
up.
didn't like see any of it before it was packaged.
No, we
Did you
had
see-
what would that be, like a log of what was on the truck,
Oh gotcha.
but it looked like they had just photocopied that to hell to kind of distort it, and I guess they didn't want us to know what we had.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if they have that's where they get some art theft. Like that's how that happens. Because you don't really know who. Well, no, you said there's a guard or.
Well, that was just to like make sure that we didn't get run off the road and fucking robbed.
Oh.
But
Yeah, but I do
Once we
wonder, like,
went into-
transporting it, is that how, like, some art theft happens, and then people then find somebody who can just make copies of, like, an original, and then you think these things are originals that are out there, but they're actually fakes.
okay, that I don't know. I was watching one of those art heist documentaries on Netflix, and it seems surprisingly easy to just kind of like rob a museum.
Yes.
Like they don't really expect you to just kind of walk out with something. Like there was a Boston one where they did like break in after the place closed, and they just took whatever they wanted.
Oh,
took them
yes,
all out
I
of
know
the
what you're
frames.
referring to. Yes.
But the fake stuff, there was the other Netflix documentary. I can't remember the name of it, but it was about this guy who he just forged Jackson Pollocks and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
right.
he said that they were just, this collector had them and nobody
Yeah.
had seen them. And they flooded the market with all these
It's
like
wild.
replicas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? And I remember they were in that documentary. They talk about how the person who's like the curator for the museum. They're like either they were in on this and it was like an inside job, or they're a complete idiot because they talk about like even like it's like I think that like one of them like they misspell like Jackson Pollock's name in the signature
Yeah.
on the
Oh my
painting,
God.
and they still took it.
Yeah, I think there was a few like that where also I forget what they did with the paints to actually kind of make them fit the time period to a chemical test. But I think there was also a lot of those that they were like, this shit is very suspect actually. Like, shouldn't be selling this as an original. Alright, whatever. I don't know where I fall on if that lady was involved, because she was that like the main buyer or seller, whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
people who are listening to this episode, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a very good doc.
Maybe we'll remember the name at some point.
Yeah, and if not, you have Google, and you can use Google
Yeah, most
right
of it,
now
though.
if you want.
Oh, also entertainment. You could watch it on Tuesday, Amazon Prime Video,
Ooh.
and something else that I forgot.
Well, since we're plugging before we sign off on the show, Tommy, is there anything you'd like to plug, or anybody you'd like to just a shout out for anything coming up, or any last words?
No, I guess just follow me on Instagram at Tommy12Tokes. I don't use Twitter. Add me on Facebook because I'm old. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I got no shows coming up.
Also, it's called This Is a Robbery, the world's biggest art heist.
Yes, we remembered that just now for all of you.
This is a robbery.
Yes. Jadrin, any final words?
He just put a snack in his mouth. He's chewing. Oh no!
Hey, it ends where it began.
That's
with
right.
me snacking.
We are full circle, like the circle of an Oreo. Jadrin, anything that you'd like to plug or mention or say to the people listening wherever they are?
Please, please, please subscribe to the Morning Shower if you haven't already. Subscribe to Gemstones and Whiskey, our wonderful Outlander podcast. Subscribe to, whatever
Patreon
else.
if you want bonus episodes for podcasts. And keep checking out Weedman's when they have shows. And we'll be...
First, second, and third Wednesday of the month in October.
Yeah. And we'll be hopefully doing other films for like festivals, so just keep your eyes peeled for when our films are gonna finally debut in public.
Do not pull the wool over your own eyes.
Just rip that Band-Aid off.